Xavier Exman. They executed perfectly. They played 40 minutes of basketball. Since then, they've been really inconsistent, and I know that they have to feel pressure in the sense that they could have locked this up a few games ago. They could have ended this. Friday night, they just lost to Acadia. Last week, they could have beaten St. Mary's down the tower, and they let that slip through their fingers. So they got to be feeling just a little bit more pressure, I believe.
And then again, on the other side, you know, St. Mary's lost to St. FX the other night, and they knew that if Dal won that game, this game would be meaningless. Dal lost, so St. Mary's has another life. It seems like they just keep on bouncing back from adversity.
Well, they do, and they really play well with it. What St. Mary's does better maybe than any team in this league is ball control. They're a great passing team, and they're a great shooting team. Now, PI does all those things as well, but St. Mary's just does it a little better, I think. Everybody on their team can shoot. Everybody's a threat with the ball. They pass it extremely well, and they work really well as a team. The Tigers, the key, I believe, is defensive pressure. St. Mary's doesn't go deep to their bench. They only go about 7 deep. When the Tigers blew them out here in January, they full court pressed them, and they wore the Huskies down. And in my mind, that's what they're going to have to do this afternoon to win this basketball game.
Okay, now for just a few moments, let's touch on Dalhousie, their players. Let's start with Will Verbeek.
Well, Will's another all-star season, I believe. He should be first-team all-star. And, you know, he's really done a great job again this year. He's the heart and the soul of the team, although I know Bev would like to say Paul Riley is, and Paul is, but I think so goes Will Verbeek, so go the Dal Tigers. If he's going well, if he's shooting extremely well, then I think they have, they're at their strongest.
Okay, Dean Thibodeau.
Well, Thibodeau's got, you know, unlimited potential, and I know that's kind of a curse to a lot of players. He sometimes wanders offensively, gets outside and takes a jump shot. Now, he has that range. He has that range. But, see, for Dal, he's their biggest player, and he's got to be close to the basket, offensively and defensively. Now, defensively, he's unheralded. You know, he does a lot of things in defensive end which people don't notice. You know, he doesn't swat the shots like Richard Bella. He doesn't grab those big pro rebounds with the elbows flying and over the rim and everybody's going ooh and on. He does the fundamental things to get the job done. And, you know, that's what makes him, I think, one of the best players in this conference. And I think down the road he will be an All-Canadian.
Paul Riley.
Well, Paul's had a good year. I think maybe not as good a year as he had last year. And part of that, he's had some knee problems. And last week he had a family crisis, which he had to go home for. But Paul's probably among the team, he's the leader. He's the hauler guy, the guy that keeps the team loose in the locker room. Really a good individual. Some people misunderstand the way he plays. He's a rough player. He tends to be a little dirty at times, but that's the nature of his game. I mean, you know, let's say it, Kevin Vino himself and Dean Durnford play similar games. They're very physical inside, and that's their job. That's the nature. They have to go get the rebounds.
Speaking of rough, Andrew Merritt.
Well, Andrew Merritt, you know, let's give credit to where credit's due. He's a good athlete. He doesn't shoot the ball particularly well from the outside, but he's had to adjust his game. This year he hasn't got as much playing time. His scoring's dropped. You know, he hasn't taken as many shots, but he's adjusted well. It's been tough. You know, you tell a player, everybody has an ego, and certainly they want to score. If you've scored 12, 15 points a game, it's tough to accept 7 and 8 points a game.
Okay, Sean Mantley.
Well, Sean is another player with unlimited potential. His development is nothing short of amazing, coming from not playing the guard position at all in high school to now starting for the Tigers. In my mind, Cecil, not only will he be AUA All-Star and a possible All-Canadian, but he will, by the time he finishes Dalhousie, be at a national camp. He is that type of player, no doubt in my mind.
Oh, I agree with you all the way there. I think Sean Mantley is probably an unsung hero on this team this year for the very reason that you just mentioned. First of all, nobody expected out of Sean Mantley what Sean Mantley has shown us, with the possible exception of Sean Mantley.
Sure, and quiet confidence he's exhibited. At the start of the year, he told Bev that he really didn't want to start. He just felt uncomfortable. And that's interesting, you know, a player who usually gets a starting assignment will say, I'll take it. Sean said, I just don't think I'm ready. I'd rather come off the bench. Now, that shows me two things. It shows me, two, he knows what he has to do, and two, he was willing to accept any role for the team. And for a coach, you love that in a player. You love a player who will know his role and go out and accept it and do it.
Yep. Okay. Okay, there's a look at the starting five coming out for St. Mary's. Roworth, McCutcheon, Richard Sullivan, Big 45, Brian Thompson, and last but not least, number 54, Dean Durnford.
A veteran crew. Some of these guys have played together for a number of years in high school and college, and that's really helped them. I think the cohesion they exude on the court is a direct result of them playing together for years.
All right, now we're just getting ready for the introduction of the starting five for the host Dal Tigers. Cecil Wright, Brian Lennox, and Quinta Adams here at the Dalplex, bringing you the play-by-play for this big, important game. There's a look at number 11, the center for the Tigers, Dean Thibodeau. Here comes a player we were just talking about, done an extraordinary job for the Tigers, number 12, Sean Mantley. Co-captain, big number 21, Paul Riley. Will Verbeek, swingman, Mr. Everything for Dal.
Yeah, well, he's been the MVP his first 3 years at Dal, and he probably will be a team MVP again.
And the final piece of the quintet that makes up the starting five is number 42, co-captain Oscar Martin.
Well, Oscar, just a tremendous person, very good player, underrated. Down at the Tower last week, he had 20 points, and really he's really an unselfish player, almost to a fault, in which he won't shoot as much as Bev would like him to do. A player who fills the lane very well. He runs the court very well. A great hustle player, and you know, what can you say? Coming back from the illness he came through, and much like Kevin Vino, I mean, you can really appreciate what type of people they are coming back from that.
Okay, we're moments away from the opening toss.
Once again, we have clock problems. It's either the rims or the clocks.
Never fails, does it?
Well, we always are delayed. But just to get the crowd a little more excited, and you know, this is, as Al McGuire would say, SRO. We got standing room only today.
I don't think Mickey Mouse could find an open spot in this gym today. All right, the clock seems to be working out right now. The scoreboard is lit up, but the time is wrong now. Well, that just gives us a second to wind down here, and
well, let's talk about St. Mary's a little, if we might, a little individually. Certainly, I think Brian Thompson and Chris Roworth are going to be AUA All-Stars. In fact, Chris Roworth is the leader in the league in assists, and he's one of the top scorers. He's averaging over 6 assists a game. He's the only player in this conference that has over 100 assists. In fact, nobody's even close to that. Augie Jones would have been had he not been injured. But Roworth has a 2-to-1 ratio assists to turnovers, which in most basketball minds is a great ratio. And Thompson, the second leading scorer in the conference, a great player, a great shooter.
We're underway. The ball is in the air. Tap is controlled by Thompson. He gives the ball to Chris Roworth, guarded by Mantley. Sullivan with the ball over right side to Brian Thompson, guarded by Riley. Up top, McCutcheon. Dean Durnford with the ball, now guarded by Thibodeau. Gives the ball over to Thompson. He lets fly the jumper. It's good.
Well, you can't give Thompson that open shot. He will bury that.
Back quickly come the Tigers. Sean Mantley guarded by Richard Sullivan, number 44. Has the ball knocked out of his hands. It's going to be Dalhousie ball.
Nice matchup here. Sullivan's a freshman guard who's impressed a lot of people with his play, and you know, no wonder he got a guy like John Gallinaw to help him out. John Gallinaw, former great player of the St. Mary's Huskies, fantastic guard in his day.
Tigers inbound the ball. Mantley controls up top. He's looking for the cutter. Here comes Verbeek. He's guarded closely by McCutcheon. Mantley's going to drive to the hoop. He takes in, puts it up, bounces around the rim and in, and draws the foul.
Well, tough move, tough move. You know, Sean, great penetration. He's so strong, too, taking that ball to the basket. Well,
the foul was called on Mantley.
Well, here we get that on a replay again. Well, I think let's clarify something we've discussed the last few weeks. When a player leaves the ground, a defensive player cannot come over and take the charge. He's still moving. And before I was questioning whether they should do that. And really, it's a rule that you cannot move when a player has taken off.
Okay, Sullivan brings the ball up, hands off to Chris Roworth, right side, guarded by Mantley. McCutcheon now. McCutcheon's been on fire the past couple of weeks. Baseline pass to Dean Durnford. He pulls up and fires a jumper. It's strong, no good, but rebound controlled by Brian Thompson. He's bottled up. The ball is knocked out of bounds. It's going to be St. Mary's ball.
Good hustle. Well, speaking of Tom McCutcheon, yes, he's sure coming around. Down at the Tower, he hit 9 for 15 from the floor, and those are all outside jump shots.
Ball's inbounded to Durnford. He puts it up over Thibodeau. It's good. Back quickly come the Tigers. Verbeek, left corner, comes up top to Mantley. Mantley calls out a play, and he's looking for a cutter. He finds Thibodeau open. Thibodeau fakes, holds, takes the jumper. It's good.
Very nice. When Dean gets the ball within 12 feet, there's very few people in the country who can stop him.
Richard Sullivan guarded by Verbeek. He takes a pull-up jumper. Nothing but net for Sullivan.
Oh, very nice move.
Back quickly is Dalhousie. Oscar Martins with the ball in the right corner. Back to Thibodeau, over to Mantley. Mantley directs the play, gives the ball to Riley, guarded by Durnford. He's looking inside, gives the ball to Verbeek. Verbeek fakes, drives to the hoop, puts it up and in.
Super move by Verbeek, and something there that McCutcheon did was body up on Verbeek. You don't do that on a player that can drive like Verbeek. Really, St. Mary's strategy, I'm sure, is going to be to lay off Will and maybe force him to hit the jump shot.
Tom McCutcheon with the ball, gives to Chris Roworth. Roworth brings it back outside, finds Deanford open in the corner. Durnford fakes, gets it back to Thompson, knocked out of his hands by Riley, but he regains and gives to Chris Roworth, number 33, guarded by Mantley. Wants to shoot, can't. Durnford takes a pull-up pop. It's around the rim, no good. Rebound, Will Verbeek. Sean Mantley brings it up. Gives to Verbeek. Verbeek looks like he wants to shoot. He doesn't. Passes to Oscar Martins. Gets it inside to Riley. Riley loses the handle with St. Mary's ball.
Paul wanted to go to the basket before he got the ball. I suspect that was going to increase the tempo a little bit. Maybe force a little full court pressure.
Thompson, guarded by Riley, gives to Roworth. Roworth with the jumper. It's off the rim. No good. Rebound. Mantley. Tigers are looking to run. He finds Oscar Martins, but the pass is too far. Oscar winds up in the crowd. Looks like everyone's okay,
you know, I like that. Hey, it was a missed pass, but that's what you like. They're forcing the tempo. Hey, if you get a turnover, you like it just go out of bounds in St. Mary's ball. No big deal there. In fact, you kind of like that play.
All right, Roworth with the ball now for St. Mary's. 6-6.
Well,
16 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Great defensive play there by Thibodeau, I believe.
Well, Dean didn't check him off on the screen there, and they're very fortunate. But what I mean by when the pick was set, Dean did not come up top and force Roworth to go wide on that. We can see a replay. I'll try to demonstrate that. But what he's got to do when a screen's set, he's got to come up top. See, now, he's got to come up top and take off Roworth or make sure Mantley can get around the screen. He didn't do that. Now, he recovered well enough, but you got to call out those picks and make him go around.
Okay, now, and we're back to live action. Martins holds the ball for Dalhousie. Looks inside, finds no one, so he swings up top to Mantley. Riley has the ball knocked out of his hands nicely by Durnford, and here comes Roworth with the ball. Roworth tries to get inside, but it's kicked away by Sean Mantley. New 30 seconds in St. Mary's ball. 6-6, 16 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the opening half of this most important game of the year for both teams. Dean Durnford inside, nice move.
Well, Durnford's showing a little offensive prowess here. He's going against Thibodeau, so he's giving away about 4 inches. Veteran player, very physical, very good.
Sean Mantley controls. He drives on Sullivan, gives it to Thibodeau, who misses. And Riley picks up the loose ball, gives to Oscar Martins. Oscar gives out to Mantley. Mantley drives, gives back to Martins, who drives baseline, puts it up. No good. Rebound, Brian Thompson for St. Mary's. And here comes Roworth now. The Huskies look to run. Now he stops it, gives to Richard Sullivan out top. Inside, Dean Durnford with the turnaround pop. It's good. And quickly, it's 10-6 in favor of St. Mary's.
Well, Dean Durnford's in his 5th year. He doesn't want his season to end today.
Sean Mantley gives the ball to Dean Thibodeau. Thibodeau looks, gives back to Mantley, over to Verbeek, guarded by McCutcheon. Verbeek's going to drive on him. Puts up the soft jumper. It's no good. Rebound. Martins knocked it out to Sean Mantley. Mantley holds now, guarded by Sullivan. Now Riley's going to take the pull-up. Jay, it's off the rim. No good, but Thibodeau gets a favorable bounce.
Once again, we speak of Dalhousie's offensive rebounding, and that's tough. You give away 2 and 3 shots, you're going to pay for it.
Ball is kicked away, intended for Verbeek, kicked away by Richard Sullivan, number 44. We have our first substitution of the game. Andrew Merritt coming in, replacing Will Verbeek. 14:51 to go here in the first half. Dalhousie Tigers hosting the St. Mary's Huskies. Okay, there's a good look at Andrew Merritt as he intends to inbound the ball. He goes to Manley. Manley fires. Off to him, no good. Oscar Martin's great hustle with the offensive rebound. Outside, Merritt's going to let go a three-pointer.
Yes, count it. And that's good. Andrew Merritt hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well of late. To get a three-pointer like that, just nothing but help him with the confidence level.
So Andrew brings his team back now. It's a 1-point lead in favor of St. Mary's. Merritt's guarding Sullivan. Here's Brian Thompson with a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, I think he got away with extending his arm there. Now, when I say about Andrew Merritt, he hasn't been shooting the ball very well of late, and that just helps his confidence level. Come in, hit a three-pointer right away, and I'm sure Andrew's feeling just like Durnford. He doesn't want this to be his last game.
All right, 14 minutes, 24 seconds to go here in the first half. The Huskies have not committed a foul yet. Chris Rower takes it to the hoop. Looks like he got away with a little step, no problem though. Oscar Martins gets a rebound and twists an ankle in the process.
Oh, yeah, it's that same one he's had trouble with before. He sprained that a couple times this year, and it's a constant bother. And you know, with a sprained ankle, you just never know if you're ready again. If it keeps happening, it's a nagging injury that won't go away.
Okay, as Oscar limps off court, he gets a nice hand of appreciation from the crowd. It's going to be looked at now by the therapist, and the ball comes up to Andrew Merritt, number 20. Off the hands of Tommy McCutcheon. It's going to be Dalhousie ball. 14:08 to go. St. Mary's 10, Dalhousie Tigers 9. Cecil Wright, Brian Lennox, and Quinta Adams live from the Dalplex. You're watching Channel 10 Sports. Manley holds the ball, looks to pass, he goes to Verbeek on the left side, inside to Riley. Riley tries to get inside, takes the J, off the glass, no good, rebound by Dean Durnford. Richard Sullivan brings the ball up court. He's working on Andrew Merritt. Way outside is Dean Durnford, and he's good again.
Oh, Durnford's really showing inside and outside.
He's got 8 of his team's 12 points.
Well, he is a good shooter. He just hasn't been looking a lot for his shot. His role, again, is a defensive player. He wants to be, he's one of the best rebounders on the Huskies.
Okay, Wilbur Beek draws the foul on, I believe, Tom McCutcheon.
Wilbur Beek, a great penetrator, one of the best in the league. Within 10 feet of the hoop, I don't think there's a player that's better. Maybe not in this conference, and maybe he's one of the better ones in the country at that. The problem with Will has been the consistency from the outside. Teams have been laying off him, and the other problem is foul shooting. Will hasn't been consistent from the foul line. And, you know, he has a decent stroke. He just hasn't been consistent from the line. But again, good to see him hit his first one.
Well, keep talking like that, Brian.
Certainly.
There's a good look at Verbeek as he prepares a second. The Tigers are going to have to hit their free throws today if they intend to win.
Well, that's the key when you have two teams as closely matched as these two. It comes down to foul shooting, and that's part of the execution we spoke of at the top of the show.
Back the other way for St. Mary's is Sullivan. He gives to Brian Thompson. Up top to Durnford, that outside force. Roworth finds Thompson open inside. It's no good, but rebound by Tom McCutcheon. He puts it up and in, but no basket. He was fouled before the shot was attempted.
Well, great positioning by McCutcheon there. Dal didn't box him out, and he constantly got the rebound. But see, right there, when Thompson got the ball down low, he was fronted top side. And I think he preferred to front them from the baseline side so you get help, because he turned around, had a shot. And I don't know, I think there's an assignment you'd like to get him from behind rather than top side. Like what they're doing now is, again, I don't know if I'd like to see that.
Chris Roworth for 2. Quickly back the other way come the Tigers. Sean Mantley fakes the 3, drives, puts it up. It's no good. And we have a blocking foul, I believe, on Chris Roworth.
Yeah, very good penetration by Sean. Faked the 3, had the defense committing to him, and took the ball to the basket. And one thing Sean's developed is that three-point shot. And here he is, fakes it, gets the defense up on him, and takes it to the basket.
No question about that foul. Roworth moved right into him.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
As I said before, I think it was during the Coca-Cola Beaver Foods Classic, you know, referees have a very, very tough job to do, and most people don't appreciate the talent of these referees out there.
Oh, no. Sean, a 62% foul shooter. I got to believe as the years go by, he's going to get much better from the foul line, and certainly from as a point guard. You like to have your point guard shooting over 80% because the ball's in their hands much of the time. There we are, Dalhousie's offensive rebounding, really helping them.
Okay, Mantley missed a second, but as you said, they get the favorable bounce. And that time, the shot was put up by Verbeek. It was no good, but off the hands of Tom McCutcheon. It's going to be Dalhousie ball. Trailing by 2, 14-12. First half of this important ball game. Merritt comes way out top to Will Verbeek. Mantley fires a three-pointer. It's good! Mantley with 6 points on the day so far as Sullivan brings it back, guarded by Andrew Merritt. The ball is slapped away by Sean Mantley. Roller throws it right into the hands of Andrew Merritt. Spin move, up and in!
Dell's got a little run here now.
The Tigers lead by 3, 17-14. As Sullivan brings it right back and gets called for a travel. Good call.
Yeah, he took steps on that play.
Verbeek inbounds to Big Paul Riley. He gives the ball to Sean Mantley. Mantley brings the ball up court, guarded by Sullivan. Looks for Thibodeau, can't find him. He hits Riley. Riley holds the ball, directs somebody. Verbeek says, give me the ball, I want it. Puts it up and in. Spin move on McCutcheon. Great move.
Now Will's got a great spin move. He puts the ball again. He gets close to the basket within 10 feet. Very difficult to stop.
Richard Sullivan back the other way into the hands of Tom McCutcheon. Guarded by Verbeek. Fakes, drives, stops, pops. It's good.
Ooh, that was the rainbow jumper.
That's a beautiful jump shot by Tom McCutcheon.
Well, he's been looking for a shot more this year, averaging 10 points a game. And, before he's been basically a role player, but he is starting to assert himself more offensively.
Sean Mantley to Paul Riley inside. Andrew Merritt puts it up over Roworth. Around the rim, no good. Tapped up by Verbeek. No good. Rebounded by Brian Thompson. Here comes Richard Sullivan back the other way. Guarded by Merritt. Thompson fires a three. Good.
Well, Thompson does have that range. You have got to play him even in the three-point area.
Okay, that score should read 19-19. Just under 11 minutes to go in the first half. Will Verbeek over to Sean Mantley. Back to Verbeek. He fakes, he drives, he shoots. It's no good. Rebound Thompson.
Well, just as we said, this is going to be a close game. It should go right down to the wire.
Roworth back the other way. Tie game at 19, approaching 10.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Tom McCutcheon wide open, top of the key, around the rim and in.
Yeah, a little screen there, and there's no communication, no check off of switching the men, or no communication really to tell if there's a pick coming.
Dean Thibodeau inside finds Verbeek. Verbeek comes up high to Sean Mantley. Mantley to Andrew Merritt. Merritt, tricky dribbles, gives to Verbeek, over to Mantley. Merritt fakes the three. Loses the handle, but picked up by Verbeek. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Verbeek takes a baseline jumper, no good. Riley had the ball, but he knocked it right into the hands of Chris Rower.
Well, good defensive 30 seconds there by St. Mary's. They really played well.
And we got a timeout called by St. Mary's with the score 21 for St. Mary's, 19 for Dalhousie. 9 minutes, 50 seconds to go here. Brian, is it everything you expected?
That and more. What I'm surprised that Dalhousie hasn't done yet, and we still could see it, is full court pressure. Up-tempoing it. Now, they might be waiting for the second half. You don't want to necessarily press the whole game. You want to bring it in spurts, and that's the game of basketball, spurts. Now, the full court pressure, what it will do is force St. Mary's into a tempo they don't want to be in, and it'll also force their players to work harder, and they don't go deep, as we said at the outset. They only go 7 deep. In fact, they haven't made a substitution yet.
Okay, and talking about that, how big a part is the Dalhousie bench going to play in this game?
Oh, very important part. Very important.
That's fine.
They're going to rotate a lot.
But the guards got to match up on their guards in a 2-3, and the big men have to make the adjustment in the background, right?
Listen, in the man-to-man defense, we've done a good job. Just like that said, don't get over-aggressive. Don't do too much. Try to think you Superman. We've got good help. 3 times they penetrated and we dished out. Keep up the help. Don't go crazy.
Players on this team, they can go 12 deep.
Okay, you saw Coach Ross Quackenbush talking to the St. Mary's Huskies. And we have our second substitution for Dalhousie. It's Kevin Hayden into the game, giving Sean Mantley a bit of a breather.
No, Kevin's still coming back from that ankle sprain he had. It was really serious. I see he's wearing a different shoe. He was wearing braces on both ankles. Now he's gone away from that.
McCutcheon with the ball. Guarded by Verbeek. He finds Durnford. Durnford to Chris Rower. 3-point territory. Now McCutcheon Back to Roworth. Roworth gets it inside off the hands of Brian Thompson, but he saves it into the hands of Sullivan, and it's knocked away by Andrew Merritt, picked up by Riley, gives to Kevin Hayden. Here come the Tigers. Wilver Beek, Dean Thibodeau from that spot he loves, takes the jumper. It's off the rim, no good. Rebound by Richard Sullivan, throws the elbows.
See, and there lies the problem. Dean takes that shot, and he's taken away from the rebounding end of it.
Sullivan throws the ball almost right into the beak of Mickey Fox, but great hands by Mickey Fox. He deflects the pass.
Well, good pressure by Andrew Merritt, and that's what will force, denying that pass will force turnover. You see our first substitution for St. Mary's, Jason Darling, coming in.
Jason Darling, quite a shooter in his own right.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He can stroke it with the best of them.
Okay, Hayden gives the ball to Merritt, finds Dean Thibodeau. High post now for Beek, outside three-point line. Dean Thibodeau from his spot. It's good, and we got a foul called on, I believe, Paul Riley.
Yeah, he pushed Dean Durnford down. Now, again, we said that Dean Thibodeau can hit those shots, and he can, but sometimes you like to see him go more to the basket so he can get those offensive rebounds. Now, this is a good shot for him. About 13 feet out. Yeah, we see Paul Riley there with a little push on Durnford. They play very similar styles, very physical games, both of them.
Okay, that was Riley's second foul, and in replacing him is number 30, David Paquette. Here comes Chris Roworth with the ball. It's 21-21. Brian Thompson guarded by Paquette. It's good.
Oh, Thompson's tough. Boy, he can shoot the basketball. 6'6", puts it on the floor well, has a great touch.
Here comes Wilver Beek with the ball. St. Mary's leads by 2, 23-21, 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Dean Thibodeau with the turnaround jumper, off the rim, no good.
But
McCutcheon with the rebound.
That's not a bad shot. That's 8 feet away. He's posting up. That's a good shot.
Dean Durnford's going to let it fly again. It's good.
Durnford's on fire. I don't think he's missed yet. If he has, it might be only one shot. He has 10 points.
He did miss one layup earlier. All right, Andrew Merritt with the ball gives to Wilver Beek. Three-pointer is no good. Rebound, Darling.
That's not the shot Bev wants. Will really doesn't have that three-point range. I mean, he's demonstrated it in practice, but he hasn't demonstrated it in the games.
All right, and Jason Darling picked up a foul on Kevin Hayden. Bev Greenlaw signaling timeout, please. And it's granted, so the Tigers take their first timeout. 7 minutes, 55 seconds to go. St. Mary's 25, Dalhousie 21. This is Channel 10 Sports presentation live from the Dalplex.
Right, this is the first thing we're doing is looking to put it inside, right? Good job out there, guys.
All right, yeah. All right, let's do it. No, hey, I'm open. Everybody got that on offense now?
That's right. That's why we're telling the rest.
That's it, but don't move. We're all right. We look pretty good. But let's run flash. Let's have some real good discipline on the outside. As soon as you catch the ball on the perimeter, take the look in, give the screen time to develop, give the flash time to develop. As soon as you see you're not getting it to either of those two guys, get it moving.
I'm not going to screen away, okay? So the weak side guard just stay there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you just do whatever fits in? If you have to screen away, screen away.
One of these teams is not going to make the playoffs, where in other conferences they might be able to make the playoffs. Maybe not Canada West, but certainly in some of the Ontario conferences and surely in the Quebec conference, these two teams would be near the top.
The thing that I wonder, particularly about Dean Durnford in this game is how will the up and down play affect him in the second half? You know, his stamina may be something that's slightly suspect.
Well, that's the thing that St. Mary's has got to control the tempo. If they let it get the tempo out of hand, Dal controls the tempo with some full court pressure, it might tell in the later stages in the second half.
Okay, St. Mary's was moving the ball around nicely. They try to get it inside, and Dave Paquette picks up his first foul of the day. 7 minutes, 43 seconds to elapse here in the first half. Durnford with the ball inside. Jason Darling lets fly a three. It's off the rim, no good. Rebound, Paquette into the hands of Kevin Hayden. Andrew Merritt now he's cut off, so he stops, gives the ball to Hayden. Hayden to Verbeek, finds Paquette inside. Paquette with a turnaround jumper. It's off the glass, no good. Rebound by number 23, Darling. Roworth finds Durnford open, but Paquette quickly gets him and swung back over to Jason Darling.
Oh, not a very good pass.
Cross-court pass is intercepted by Merritt. Merritt taking it 1-on-4 for the moment. Waits for help.
I think there's a substitution. I'm not sure what that is. Kevin either had a contact out.
I think that's exactly what it was as the referee pointed to his eye.
That's one thing. Very difficult to play with contact lenses. And if they get knocked out, I mean, you're searching for it. And the other thing is it's difficult to put back in if you're a player.
Verbeek with a beautiful up and under move for 2.
Well, that's one of his specialties. He does that as good as we said many times, as good as anybody in the country.
And that makes the score 25-23 in favor of the Huskies. 6 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first half. Roworth, guarded by Merritt, finds McCutcheon open for the moment. Over Verbeek for 2.
Now, McCutcheon's really shooting the ball. He's in a groove, and when a shooter gets in a groove, it feels just great. You feel like anything you put up is going to go in.
Sean Mantley guarded by Jason Darling. Will Verbeek now with the ball. Gives over to Dave Paquette. Nice pass inside to Thibodeau, but it's no good. Rebound, Verbeek puts it up and in.
Well, we've said numerous times, Dell offensive rebound, it keeps them in basketball games, and it has to because they don't shoot exceeding well. As a team, they shoot around 41, 42%.
So it's still a 2-point Husky lead, 27-25. 6 minutes exactly to go in the first half. Durnford again from outside. He misses, but Jason Darling taps it into the hands of Tom McCutcheon. He's good.
Well, the key player there is Darling keeping that basketball alive for McCutcheon.
Quickly back comes Sean Mantley, number 12. For Dalhousie, finds Verbeek. Verbeek guarded by number 34 also, McCutcheon. Andrew Merritt gives the ball to Verbeek. Merritt from three-point land, lets it fly. It's
Count it.
good.
That's 2 he said. That's great. Great to see. He's been working hard on his shot. You know, he's taking a lot of criticism for not hitting the shot. Teams have been laying off him. It's great to see.
It's 29-28 for the Huskies. Brian Thompson with the ball, guarded by Paquette. He finds Darling open inside.
Well, missed assignment there. You know, you got 2 screens. You got to check them off. You got to switch on those. You got to do something because you can't let a man roll down the lane like that.
Merritt brings the ball back for Dalhousie. Trailing by 3, 31-28. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Exciting basketball, AUAA. Merritt gives the ball to Will Verbeek. Back up top to Sean Mantley. Merritt fakes the 3 this time, and it's called for the walk.
Well, Bev's just wondering where did he see the walk there? And if we could see that in a replay. Andrew Merritt drove down, spun, and Peter Phipps called traveling violation on that play.
It's a 3-point Husky lead. 4 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the first half. Paul Riley's into the game now, replacing Dean Thibodeau. Dale Stevens is into the ball game, replacing Dean Durnford for St. Mary's. Thompson inside, has the ball taken away by Paquette, and he's called once again for the foul.
Dave's looking at him saying he got all Spalding on that one. He took the ball away.
Poor Dave Paquette, every time the guy gets in the ball game, they seem to call the most menial fouls on the kid.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, as some players, you almost feel like it's the rookie rule. Well, you're not going to get it, you know. You don't get the calls the big-timers, the all-stars do.
Nonetheless, Thompson at the line. First shot's on the way. It's good. So it's a 4-point Husky lead. I'm sorry.
Oh, what do you like about Thompson is he shoots also 77% from the foul line. And a big man who can shoot from the outside and shoot from the foul line. It's great because you know he's going to get to the foul line a lot because he's going to be fouled.
So it's a 5-point lead for St. Mary's, 33-28. As Sean Mantley controls the ball for Dalhousie. He finds Verbeek open. Cross-court, dangerous pass to Andrew Merritt. Inside, Riley hit twice. The ball is into the hands of Dale Stevens.
Yeah, he might have got whacked on that play.
Jason Darling now with the ball inside. He finds Tommy McCutcheon. McCutcheon fakes, shoots, hit.
Yeah, he's 10 points. He is in one of those grooves. I mean, you look at his shot and you know it's just going in.
35-28 in favor of St. Mary's Huskies. Will Verbeek, top of the key, off the rim, no good. A lot of contact underneath there, no call.
Well, you see, when Will struggles from the outside, teams are just going to back off him. If he hits that shot, it makes it like, here, that's a 20-footer. It's a tough shot anyway, but if he hits that, boy, it makes him so much tougher.
Back to live action. Mantley misses the short jumper. And here comes Chris Warwick with the ball. Important possession for the Huskies. They can go up by 9 with a basket here.
Very nice swing by St. Mary's Huskies there.
And we got a travel called on number 23, Jason Darling.
I don't know about a travel there. I thought it was he lost control of the basketball, but Caulfield's closer to the ball than we are.
Thank God. All right, now Wilbur Beek with the ball, gives back to Sean Mantley. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. Mantley finds Riley. Riley is swallowed up by 3 Tigers. Dave Paquette.
Oh, you know, I don't see that. People are going to the basket, rebounding hard. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on. Dave Paquette gets a foul. I mean, if we can see that on replay again, you know, I know if there's contact, you got to whistle it, but geez, there's a lot of other stuff going underneath, underneath that's not getting called. We'll see here. Ball goes to Riley. Turnaround jump shot here. Well, you know, it looked like he reached over, but there didn't seem to be any contact. And it's a crucial foul because that puts St. Mary's in the bonus each time they're fouled now.
Not only that, but now he's picked up his 3rd. Paul Riley is playing with 2. The next one on him is going to be 3, and those are the power forwards right there for Dalhousie.
Well, you look at the team fouls. Right now, St. Mary's has but 2. Dalhousie has 7.
Dale Stevens misses the front end of the bonus situation, and here comes Dalhousie. 3 minutes to go, 35-28 in favor of St. Mary's. Gary Blair has just checked in for Dalhousie. Gives the ball to Wilbur Beek. Sean Mantley now. Dean Thibodeau is being held by number 45, Brian Thompson. For Beek, shoots,
yes,
makes it, and he's hit by Tom McCutcheon. So it's going to send him to the line, looking to convert a 3-point opportunity.
Well, great move by Will here, you know. You just don't stop that. And again, there's another player, Will, 4th season. It could be his last game if the Tigers do not win this one. And he, like every player who's a senior, does not want this to be their last game.
Tommy McCutcheon picked up his 2nd foul, and in comes Dean Johnson replacing him. St. Mary's has 3 fouls committed, 2 of them were charged to Tom McCutcheon.
Well, you know, that really helps St. Mary's, because if anybody gets in foul trouble, they're in good shape. They have nobody with more than 2 fouls.
Verbeek missed the 3-point opportunity, and back goes Chris Warwick, guarded by Gary Blair. Thompson now guarded by Riley, looks inside for Durnford. Can't find him, takes Riley off his feet, finds Chris Warwick top of the key.
Well, they got to play up on that. Oh, they can't do that. You know, once again, there's a foul on St. Mary's, but see, so a screen's being set. I don't see the defensive player coming up top of that screen, forcing St. Mary's to go wider. Instead, the screen's being set, and there's a clear path to the basket. You've got to have communication. You either switch in that play or force the play outside.
That foul was an offensive foul charged to Chris Rower. That's also his 2nd. Sean Mantley gives the ball to Paul Riley. He loses, but he regains possession. Up top to Mantley. Mantley's going to take it right to the hoop. Over Dean Turnford. Off for him. No good, but rebounded by Thibodeau inside. A lot of contact.
Yeah, he looked like he got pushed there. Again, what Sean Mantley's driving does, if he misses a shot, it still breaks down the defense and gives a chance to do what they do best, offensive rebounding.
It's a 3-point Husky lead. Correction. Make that a 5-point Husky lead with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. 37-32 in favor of St. Mary's. Wilbur Beek brings the ball back to the Tigers, guarded by number 45, Brian Thompson. Comes out top to Mantley. Mantley finds Thibodeau, guarded by Durnford inside. Riley now, guarded by Dale Stevens. Puts it up off the glass.
No, count it. Nice move by Riley.
Well, Paul Riley has certainly been looking more towards the offensive end. We got a little confrontation down there. Chris Roworth and Gary Blair. It never fails when these 2 teams get together. There's always some type of physical.
Oh yeah. You're battling for the playoffs. Well, you're battling for I guess the city championship, if you call it that. But certainly the schools, but 5-minute walk apart, or 10-minute walk. Sorry. You know, bragging rights certainly apply, and for the summer you have to live with losing to either one of these teams, and this year more so because the playoff berth is at stake.
All right, Riley looking to make it a 3-point play. Ball's on the way. It's off the back of the rim. No good. Brian Thompson with the rebound. Dean Thibodeau draped all over him. And the ball's in the hands of Richard Sullivan now with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. 3-point Husky lead. Dean Durnford loses the handle. It's out of bounds, Dalhousie ball. Chance to cut the lead to 1 or possibly tie it. Or with a foul and a 3-point opportunity, maybe take the lead.
Yes, certainly.
We've seen that once this year. All right, Mantley with the ball now. Approaching 1 minute to go in the first half of this exciting contest. This all-important contest for the 4th and final playoff spot. Verbeek up top to Mantley. Gary Blair fakes the 3-pointer. Finds Riley inside. Riley with the hook.
That was a nice pass. Good look away pass by Gary Blair. Now we got some more talking going on here. This can really break out. You know, there's a lot of physical battles here. And Brian Thompson's not a player to get into some physical scrapes.
Not with Paul Riley.
No. Well, emotion's running high, and it can be expected. I mean, you know, playoff berth is at stake here.
There's Mickey Fox now on Paul Riley. Well, anyway, it's a 37-36 game. I'm excited. I love this.
Well, again, the screen's got to be called up.
Yeah, beautiful reject by Dean Thibodeau.
Well, he just made me eat my words. Great recovery, but again, I think you'd rather have that screen called.
Gary Blair for 3.
Oh, Judge Stevens got away with a push there. No question about that.
Brian Thompson now with the ball. 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, they'll hold it for one shot here.
It's 37 for the Huskies, 36 for the Tigers. Dean Durnford, that offensive machine, out to Brian Thompson, guided by Riley. He takes the jumper, and it's off the rim, no good, and we've got a rebounding foul inside, I believe, on Gary Blair. 4 seconds to go.
Well, that's a tough foul. Dalhousie played good defense there, forced Thompson into a tough shot. He was leaning in. Well, I expect this game to heat up even more. I mean, players are talking to the officials.
Players are talking to opposing coaches.
And talking to other players. Now, the move here, I'm sure, get the ball down. Chris coming in with a play to Sean Mantley. Chris Forbes is a great 3-point shooter. Get him down for a 3-point attempt. They should get a decent shot with 4 seconds left on the clock.
Richard Sullivan at the line. Bonus situation here. It's on the way. No good. Ball slapped around. Brian Thompson, as he lets it fly, gets it.
Oh, my goodness. They called a foul on Paul Riley. And is that his 3rd foul? Oh, that's a tough foul. A tough foul. We're talking no time left on the clock. First half, missed free throw by Sullivan. Thompson gets the rebound. And he's going to shoot 101. And Bev's beside himself. And the worst thing is Riley picks up his 3rd foul.
Shoot 101. That wasn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
After the shot?
Yeah, maybe it was.
Obviously. All right, Thompson hits the first. So the score is right now it's 38 for St. Mary's, 36 for Dalhousie. And he makes the second. It's a 3-point Husky lead at halftime. What can you say?
Well, let's hope the teams don't walk together out down to the change room area. Well, a tough first half, as much as we expected.
Okay, well, exciting basketball action. We could have something a little bit more than basketball happen here in the second half. However, right now it's 39-36 for St. Mary's. We're at halftime. Most important ball game of the year in the AUAA right now. Dalhousie and St. Mary's in an intense battle for that 4th and final playoff spot.
Well, no doubt about it, and as we suspected, I'm surprised at one thing. Dal not coming out with full court pressure. However, I say that, I think they'll come out with that in the second half. And the last time they played them here in January, a similar half, although it was much more high scoring, I suspect Dalhousie in the second half will come with some full court pressure, maybe a little half court trapping as well, just to try to create a different tempo for the game, because St. Mary's seems to have a little more control of the tempo, and that's a key for them because they only go 7 deep.
Well, one thing that's very important now, you've got a couple of guys like Dean Durnford, for example, for St. Mary's, is having a great offensive game, has not picked up a foul. Neither is Dale Stevens. Now, these guys are big boys. The way this thing is going in the first half, you could see an awful lot of personal contact.
Well, they have fouls to give. When you have, you think each player, they have 5 fouls to give. And they have no fouls as of yet. There's 14 fouls. Roworth has 2. McCutcheon has 2 personal fouls. They're in great shape. However, Dave Paquette and Paul Riley each have 3, and that's a bit of a problem for, well, it's a big problem for Dalhousie because they don't have a lot of big men. They get Paul Riley with another foul, and they could be in some serious trouble.
Okay, so the score at halftime is 39 for St. Mary's, 36 for Dalhousie. We'll be back momentarily. You're watching Channel 10 Halifax Sports.
Just try to imagine the world without it. Sexuality is everything that happens to you because you are male or female. It affects your feelings, thoughts, and actions. Whether you are male or female affects how you behave and how others behave toward you. At the Metro Area Family Planning Association, formerly Planned Parenthood, Halifax, Dartmouth, Halifax County, we believe that everyone, married or single, with children or without, younger or older, has the right to understand all aspects of their sexuality. We want you to be able to make informed decisions about sexual relationships and behavior based on your own values. At the Metro Area Family Planning Association, we have a broad range of information and services relating to sexuality, including birth control, counseling, sexuality education, and resources. We'd like to provide everyone with accurate and up-to-date information so that every child is a wanted child. This means access to birth control methods and counseling, and the information that is needed to understand what birth control is all about. As an agency, we do not believe in abortion as a form of birth control. We believe in...
Welcome back to Channel 10 Halifax, and halftime score 39-36 for the visiting St. Mary's Huskies. With me now is Nick Morash, head coach with the Halifax West Warriors, and William Nujuku, who also plays with the Warriors. First of all, I'd like you to tell us what your overall season record was.
This year, Halifax West had a season record of 20 wins and 9 losses.
For those of you who don't know, the Halifax West Warriors were denied a wild card berth to the AAA Provincial Finals. Why do you think, what is the basis for the selection of wild card entry?
Well, there's 2 ways basically you can qualify. One is through regional play, the other is through a wild card system. And we went into the wild card system, and unfortunately, the only records that were taken into consideration this year were head-to-head play. And we just felt bad this year because we felt our season's record wasn't taken into consideration, and that is the impression that we've been under for quite a few years now. So basically that was the situation.
So obviously you didn't feel that your team should have been denied.
No, we worked too hard, too long, and you know, it's end the season off like that is kind of disappointing. We thought we deserved it, and that's the bottom line. There's nothing we can do now. It's over.
Obviously, it must hurt more because of your consistent seniors, namely Tom Dodson and William. Do you care to comment on that?
Well, exactly. I mean, these young men have worked hard for 3 years now, and they have been 2 of the more high-profile players in Nova Scotia. And it's just unfortunate that fine basketball career for both of these guys and all of our kids has to end on such a sour note.
I think the Metro League is the strongest in the whole province, and I felt myself during the beginning of the season that at least the top 4 should have advanced. And where Queen Elizabeth didn't have such a successful season, that at least the top 3, because you guys have been consistent in your overall play with St. Pat's and Cole Harbour, who eventually went to the finals but lost by 5.
Well, that's true. You look at the Metro League this year, and it has been stronger than it has been in many years since I've been involved. And we wound up having 2 representatives in the provincial championships this year, where we had 3 or 4 strong teams. And you look at the Western region, and they had 3 representatives out of a 5-team league. So somehow it just doesn't seem quite fair.
as I mentioned to your coach, it hurts because of his consistent seniors, but this is your last year. So how did you feel when you found out that your team was denied?
Well, I couldn't talk. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And Tom told me, kind of ironic that Tom told me, like 10:30 Monday night after he'd practiced really hard for 2 hours, and I was shocked, and the rest of the team was pretty shocked too. And you know, I don't know, it's a weird feeling. I thought last year, the way we lost last year was bad, but we didn't even get a chance to prove it this year. So it feels terrible, and I know. Maybe it really hasn't hit me yet because I've been taking it pretty well, but I hope it doesn't.
Now, you filed a formal protest, right?
We did, yes. Basically, just to let the decision makers know that we weren't going to take the decision laying down, but normally those kind of protests don't go very far.
And especially, you filed it 2 days before provincial began?
Well, we didn't find out about this decision until basically 3 days or 2.5 days before, so we didn't have much time to work with. But we wanted to let the players know that we cared, and it's been a good week for us. We've had overwhelming support from people in the community, friends, all kinds of supporters that have told us what an unbelievable decision they think it is. So it's sort of helped ease the pain, and I know it doesn't make the players' situation any easier, but it's nice to know we have had overwhelming support this week.
William, I was interviewing you earlier in the season. Are you any closer to making a decision on where you're going to attend school next September?
Well, I guess I might as well get it now. I get it down to, if I plan to stay in Halifax, I'm thinking of go to SMU. I think SMU or Dal. I'll probably push towards SMU. And out of the province, I'd say Western is the only school I'm looking at. So I'll get down to those three.
Well, congratulations on a fine season. Is there anything further you'd like to say to the tournament selection committee for next year's provincial?
Well, not really. It's got a lot of press this week. What I would like to say is that so that teams don't get hurt in the future, there definitely has to be some changes made in the criteria whereby they pick the teams. I think overall season's record has to be looked at. Who you played, when you played them, strength of schedule is another important thing. So there's some work to be done.
Care to make a prediction on this game here?
Well, yeah, I'm going to go with St. Mary's by about 3 points.
Okay. Well, thanks again. Congratulations on, a pretty successful season, and good luck in the rest of your years. Thanks again. And we'll be back in just a moment with more live action at the Dalplex.
The following is brought to you by the Halifax, Dartmouth, Bedford Police Departments, because we want you to get involved.
Use a pen, the service is free. Mark your items so easily. I'll watch your pledge, you watch mine. Working together, we prevent crime. Kids and grown-ups and seniors too. We have programs for all of you. Crime prevention, take it to heart. To stop crime before it starts.
Working together to prevent crime.
Buddy Break with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
Cross-country skiing is fantastic for people of all ages and athletic abilities because it's simply walking on skis on snow. So from the first time you cross-country ski, it's enjoyable.
Another reason for its popularity is the fact it's one of the best aerobic activities you can do. But it's also a good idea to strengthen your muscles, and front raises is an excellent exercise to do just that. Stand with your feet comfortably apart and knees bent. With a book in each hand, lift one book until it's higher than your head. Hold, then slowly lower. Keep your knees bent to relieve the pressure on your lower back. You can do this exercise 3 to 5 times, which will give you the strength that you need. Now remember, slowly lift, hold, and lower. Once you've completed 10 front raises on one side, repeat the movement on the other arm. This movement will help tone your shoulders for skiing, shoveling snow, or any activity where you need strong shoulders.
In cold weather, your muscles will tighten quicker, so stretch before you ski and again after lunch. This will help prevent injuries. So until next time, keep fit and have fun. Race you back to the chateau.
Body break.
People of many races and cultures help to build our nation. Yet racial discrimination still exists. We can eliminate racism and discrimination through understanding, education, and acceptance. Let's all do it for a better Canada.
The polar bear, one of the largest of all bears, is a nomad of the Arctic pack ice. Expert divers and swimmers, they've been seen swimming 200 miles from land. Their favorite food is seal. Their coat is made up of long guard hairs and dense underfur, which, along with a thick layer of fat, keeps out the cold and helps to keep them buoyant. Usually 2 cubs are born in December or January. They're tiny at birth, weighing no more than 1.5 pounds. They usually remain with their mother at least 2.5 years. Important to the Eskimo culture and prized for its luxurious coat, the polar bear is being carefully managed in Canada. For more information on the polar bear, why not contact the Canadian Wildlife Service in Ottawa?
For the second half of this contest, St. Mary's leading 39-36 in favor of St. Mary's once again. Brian, quite a physical contest. We were mentioning that we hope nothing breaks out, but with certain St. Mary's University Huskies players with 0 fouls, I'm sure we're going to have some type of contest.
Well, no doubt about it. It gets down to crunch time here. I'm certain it's going to get physical. It's physical in the first half, and really 20 minutes of basketball in the season left for one of these teams. Unfortunately, I hope it doesn't happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, though. I just hope it's the rest of the half's a clean, physical game.
Okay, we're underway here in the second half. Richard Sullivan with the ball now for St. Mary's. Guarded by Andrew Merritt, who's starting this half for Dal. Tom McCutcheon open for the moment. Well, he gets him now. Brian Thompson wide open and hits the jumper.
Well, we said in the first half, when those screens are being set, you have to have somebody switching, or you have to have enough help defensively to get around those screens. You can't let players like Thompson off a screen alone shooting the basketball.
Dave Paquette also gets a start. Off the glass, no good. Guy guarded by Durnford. Here comes Richard Sullivan with the ball now. This team is leading by 5, make it 7, as Durnford hits over Dean Thibodeau.
Oh, it's tough. Dean Durnford is coming out on fire today.
Andrew Merritt now holding the ball overhead. Looks for Paquette. Wilver Beek. Mantley now guarded by Sullivan. Paquette in the corner holds the ball. Up top, Andrew Merritt. Tricky dribbles, reverse spin off the glass.
Very nice move. Oh, that was a great move by Andrew Merritt. You know he wants this game. This is his last home game for Dalhousie. He's coming out. He's intense.
Well, if there's one way Dal can get right back in this game, that's posting up Merritt on whoever's guarding.
No question. There's nobody can guard him down low.
Chris Rowas with the ball. Finds Sullivan wide open.
You can't leave players like that open. You know, Cecil, if there's a player open, it doesn't matter who's guarding anybody. You have to communicate and pick up the open players. You can't have defensive breakdowns like that. And we said these lapses kill Dal.
Wilver Beek. Sean Mantley fires a 3. It's no good. Rebound inside. Andrew Merritt fakes, goes up. Kick. Blocked by Durnford.
I thought there might have been a foul on that one. And we come down and get the foul down here. That's a tough break for Dal. I thought Andrew Merritt might have got fouled down low after he got that rebound.
Well, 3 guys hit the deck, and
no call. Well, it's tough. I mean, we're not here criticizing the referees. By no means that. It's just a very tough game to referee. It's tough to see that one team, though, getting that many fouls as opposed to the other team.
And Richard Sullivan hits the jumper. Well, so it's a 9-point lead, 47-38 for St. Mary's.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Bev gets another basket. He's going to get a timeout here.
Wilver Beek holds the ball, goes inside to Thibodeau. Thibodeau looks for Dave Paquette, takes the turnaround jumper. Andrew Merritt and Chris Roworth are really going at it.
Yeah, you know, these battles are going to heat up as the game wears on. Thibodeau, nice shot down low.
Sullivan guarded by Merritt. Thompson's open, guarded by Paquette.
Again, nobody open up those
keys. Good.
You know, players have to understand St. Mary's is a jump shooting team. They get open shots like that, they're going to hit them. You've got to really play tough on those screens.
Merritt now with the ball, guarded by Roworth. Verbeek's open, guarded by McCutcheon. Takes it to him. Tipped up by Paquette, no good. Rebound Thompson. The Huskies looking to run here as Sullivan comes back the other way, slows it down, goes to Roworth, hands it over to Sullivan, over to Brian Thompson. Thompson drives. Dean Durnford top of the key, gives to Richard Sullivan. Now here comes Chris Roworth off a pick. Hands to Durnford, he walks. Good call by Reg Caulfield.
Yeah, now we got to worry about this late here. It's 9 points. That double figure mark is psychologically a barrier. You get down by more than 10 points. And forces you to go away from what you wanted to do.
Mantley dribbling the ball for the Tigers. Finds Verbeek open. Back up top to Oscar Martins, who has come back from an ankle injury. Verbeek drives, reverses, puts it up. It's no good. Tapped out by Paquette into the hands of Dean Thibodeau. Gives to Sean Mantley. Oscar Martins finds Thibodeau. He's swallowed up. Back to Martins. Back to Mantley. Over to Verbeek. Verbeek. The hands of Mantley. We got a problem with the 30-second clock. Nobody sees it but me.
Very good, Cecil. Yes, there was. That looked like they went up 30 seconds on that.
Definitely did. And Dean Durnford fires a 3. It's no good. Dave Paquette with the rebound. Up court to Sean Mantley.
Well, I'm not sure that's a shot Coach Quackenbush would like to see Dean Durnford taking here.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't. Dean Thibodeau driving to the hoop. Should have shot that ball.
Well, Jeff wants a timeout right now. He is not happy with this offensive sequence. I mean, they have not come out executed at all. You know, Dean Thibodeau takes the ball to the basket like that. He's not a passer. He's a scorer. He's got to shoot that ball.
Well, he got the ball inside the paint. He should be shooting. I mean, he's a perimeter shooter.
Well, again, we speak defensively. Now, St. Mary's is using a lot of screens away from the basketball. You've got to communicate. You know, hell, screen coming, screen coming. From that, you either switch or you play over it or try to get through those screens. But the communication is not happening. St. Mary's is getting open jump shots. And if they keep getting those, well, it's going to be a long afternoon. And frankly, I don't think they're going to lose if they keep getting those open shots like that, because they'll drain them.
You come to the hoop. No, you don't go set the screen. We're running up. You're at a point. Enter it to Brian's side, right? Brian and Tommy are working together. Enter it to Brian. Then you're coming off the screen. you're out on the wing. You're the passer, Tom. You're the guy that's going to roll. We're really looking for Tom to get the shot on the roll. The foul line jumper on the roll. Or if you got that move out there, that's fine. All right, here. Now, one last step. If you're not open on the roll, just come over and set a pick for Brian to bring it right into the foul line area, okay? Pick and roll play. Got it? Okay, come on!
Athletic ability in the open court situations.
Well, then again, on the other hand, also, I mean, there's plenty of time to go.
Nope.
Dal is the type of team that if they do get their running game going, they can cut a 9-point lead down to nothing quite rapidly.
Well, we've seen that, no question. And you know, there's 16 minutes left in the game, but some of these trends are a little disturbing.
Okay.
Little 1-3-1 half-court pressure here, right off the bat.
The Huskies bring the ball over center court. Brian Thompson finds Sullivan up top. Sullivan looks, goes to Chris Roworth left side. Top, high post rather to Tom McCutcheon. Bottled up by Martins.
5-second call. Nice call. Great defense by Oscar Martins there. Nobody came to help Tom McCutcheon. That was a great defensive play by Oscar. I'm sure Bev, he's gone to that 1-3-1. He wants to use it, and he wants to create a few turnovers, or at least stop St. Mary's offensive rhythm here.
Manley with the ball now for the Tigers. They're trailing by 9. 15.5 minutes to go in the game. Manley gives the ball to Paul Riley, guarded by Durnford. They try to go inside to Oscar, but it's off the hand of a Husky. It's Dalhousie ball. Paul Riley gets the inbounds pass. Sean Mantley now holds top of the key. Finds Oscar Martins. Wilbur Beek in the corner. Mantley fires a 3 off the rim. No good, but rebound. I was going to say by Verbeek, but he was pushed by Tom McCutcheon. Chris Roworth now with the ball. Cut off by Paquette. Up top to Richard Sullivan. Back to Roworth. Free throw line. Tommy McCutcheon. It's no good, but McCutcheon with the offensive rebound. Puts it up again. No good. Rebound Paquette. And here come the Tigers. Are running now. Wilbur Beek. Nice spin move.
Nice pass.
To Oscar Martins. No good. Rebound McCutcheon, but he loses it. Picked up by Paul Riley. And Riley is called for
I can't believe that one. Hell no, we got to see the replay on that one. I think Paul Riley just had the ball. He maybe bumped McCutcheon slightly, but that's a tough call for the 4th foul. I see that again here. Martins misses the shot. McCutcheon loses the ball. Well, you know, no, I can't agree with that call at all. Yeah, that's Paul's 4th foul. That changes the situation totally for Bev Greenlaw. Now, does he keep him in there, or does he take him out?
He's leaving him in for the moment.
Well, I think maybe he's realizing with 4 fouls, you just got to let him play.
Brian Thompson in the corner now. That certainly changes the entire complexion of the rest of this ball game.
No question.
There was a travel by Chris Roworth right there. He's lucky he got away with that one.
Yeah. Dow's gone a little zone defense here.
Thompson hits from the corner for 2.
And the problem here, though, is if you go to a zone defense with St. Mary's, they move the ball extremely well, and they have some great jump shooters.
It's an 11-point Husky lead, 51-40.
Now, Dow's got this is a crucial time down the floor. Dow's got to score here.
If you keep your eye on Dean Durnford, you'll see he is pushing Paul Riley every step. Everywhere Paul Riley goes, Durnford is pushing him. And he can get away with it. I mean, he has no fouls. Even if he does get called, big deal.
Yeah, and there's a scenario for Bev. Paul Riley has 4 fouls. Dean Durnford has none. Nice play. Very nice play.
Good luck by Riley.
You know, the most dangerous person on the inbounds pass from the baseline is the person inbounding the ball. And that's exactly, they execute that play. Quackenbush can't be happy with that. Oscar inbound the ball. Paul Riley cut right to the basket. Anytime a player is inbounding the basketball, he's the most dangerous person because he's cutting to the basket. But, you know, yeah, there we see the play. But, you know, we've seen pros miss that. We've seen pros forget about people inbounding the basketball. So if pros can do it, well, anybody else can.
You guys don't bury yourself so deep in the wings, right? You've got to come back up top so you can work side to side and throw it down in the corner. And let's keep it on one side for a bit, again, just like the other one. Throw it from guard to guard, but big men stay. It's like a fake swing and bring it right back in.
Hey, on the half court, they're going to give us a 1-3-1 half court trap. Tommy, you make sure you stay in the back court with Richard, okay? Yeah. And then have some cutters. We can run our zone offense out of that.
And you guys, if they're spread all over, can look to penetrate on the dribble and then spit it out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Trap them. And what I mean when you get them close to the sidelines is not only do you have a two-man trap, but you have the out of bounds as sort of a man because the player can't back up into the out of bounds area or there's a turnover. So you want to trap in the corners. You don't want to get the ball in the middle. The ball gets in the middle and that press is broken down. So you want to keep the ball away from the middle, keep it to the corners and the sideline.
Okay, now Dal has brought in a little bit more quickness now as Daryl Johnson and Gary Blair are checked into the lineup.
Yeah, this is their quickest lineup they can put out the floor. See, the ball gets in the middle. Now, luckily for Dal, nothing happened there. But once the ball gets in the middle, that press is broken.
Riley gives the ball to Paquette. Gary Blair fakes the three-pointer. Sean Manley, Daryl Johnson now with the ball. His first action of the day. Blair fires a three. It's good! So that makes it now a 6-point Husky lead. And as we said, Dalhousie is capable of cutting a lead quite rapidly.
Gary's a streaky shooter. If he gets hot in a roll, he can hit a few.
Okay, we got a elbow in the face.
5-second call.
Dave Paquette took an elbow right in the chops from Tom McCutcheon. Rower swings to McCutcheon. Brian Thompson on the baseline. It's no good. Tapped up again. No good. Rebound, Dave Paquette. Here comes Sean Manley. They're looking to cut the lead to 4. Daryl Johnson pulls up. Finds Riley inside off the glass. No good. Rebound in the hands of Dean Durnford. And here come the Huskies. Richard Sullivan over to Chris Roworth. He's open. Tom McCutcheon finds Brian Thompson. Look by Gary Blair.
What a play.
Into the hands of Dave Paquette. And he calls Sean Manley for the travel.
He did. Tough play, but Gary Blair with a great block. And that's the type of thing, it's a momentum swing. You're going to play like that, the momentum can swing.
So St. Mary's ball up in the right corner here. We see somebody banging on the drum slowly.
Well, you know, that's the type of play that, well, it's a great athletic play by Blair blocking that shot.
Okay, let's see if the Tigers can keep this intensity right where it is. Jason Darling in the hands of Dean Durnford. Darling can hit from there. You got to get on him. Brian Thompson now takes the jumper. It's good. Scored 53-45, 12 minutes to go in the second half.
Thompson's tough off the dribble. We say it time and time again, but what a tough player. A forward who can put the ball on the floor like he does and shoot it.
Nice pass from Paquette inside to Riley.
Yeah, he was there. The weak side help wasn't there from Darling. Nice pass inside. Riley gets fouled.
And Jason Darling picks up his first foul. Five team fouls called on St. Mary's so far in this game. 5 team fouls. If you could have told me that early in this game, I'd have laughed.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, see, here's some of the St. Mary's players getting behind the foul at the basket and waving a towel. You can't see it on the screen, but Riley's looking at people waving a towel behind him. Calmly drains it, though.
You know, and actually, they should get those people down off there. It's a good look at them because they're on the stanchions, and that rim can move.
Well, one way to answer that, drain both of them.
And they took the second one away, saying that there was a violation.
Oh, that's a tough, wow, you don't like to give away points, but that's tough. You hit it, and then it's called a violation.
Well, Dal hasn't done a thing right yet as far as the referees are concerned. Nothing. So it's 53-46.
Well, there again, you got to get that ball away from the middle. Darling's tough off the dribble, too. And maybe that's a little communication problem, but St. Mary's moves the ball well, but boy, that ball gets in the middle of that pressure, and you've really broken it down.
We got the foul on Tom McCutcheon. That'll be McCutcheon's third foul. All right, so it's Dalhousie ball. Gary Blair goes to Daryl Johnson. Back to Blair. Fires a three again. It's no good. Rebound, Dave Paquette.
Great rebound.
Paquette takes it right to him. Tips up his miss. Gets it again. Puts it up. No good. Gets it again. Gets hit.
Oh, what?
No call.
He's got 4 rebounds Tremendous effort by Paquette. Tipped the ball, kept it alive, kept after it. That's the type of effort you like to see.
Richard Sullivan gets the ball in the hands of Jason Darling. He finds McCutcheon, fires a three, no good. Rebound, Durnford. He has it blocked by Gary Blair. And let's see who the foul is called. I believe it's called on Paquette.
Well, that'll be his fourth foul. Well, we've got some serious foul situations for the Tigers. Riley and Paquette with 4 fouls, and that's 2 players they really can't afford to lose.
They have 2 more fouls between the 2 of them than the entire St. Mary's team. And I'm sure that when the referees have a look at this game, they won't be pleased with their performance in the first half.
Well, let's call it like it is. I don't think I think Dalhousie's gotten the worst of the officiating here. Let's be honest with it.
Andrew Merritt with the ball up top. Gives the ball inside to Riley. Riley with a turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound, Brian Thompson for St. Mary's. It's a 10-point Husky lead with 10.5 minutes to go in the second half. We're live from the Dalplex, Channel 10.
Leave Darling open.
Okay, the shot is off the rim, no good, and it's out of bounds. It's Dalhousie ball.
Well, he missed that shot there, but you can't leave Jason Darling alone in the 3-point area. You got to have a hand in the face.
Sean Manley brings it back for the Tigers. Manley wants to drive, he does! Shot's on the way, it's no good, but we got a foul called on St. Mary's here. Yeah, I think it's on St. Mary's.
No question about that. They had to call that. Great move by Sean Manley once again. Oh, yeah, he was definitely fouled. Richard Sullivan.
Richard Sullivan picks up his first foul. And that's going to send Sean the Hawk Mantley to the line, shooting 2. Dean Thibodeau is coming into the ballgame, replacing Paul Riley. Mantley makes the first.
Tell me drains the free throw there. Well, you know, Cecil, I have to say this is disappointing to me. A home game for Dalhousie, and who do we hear? We hear St. Mary's fans. There's no excuse for that. There's none whatsoever. A home game like this, I mean, I can't imagine what people, Sunday afternoon, it's but 2 hours to come support your team, and there's more St. Mary's people over there. They seem to be a lot more vocal than Dalhousie fans. Well, there really is no excuse for it whatsoever.
Well, we mentioned that earlier this year, and hopefully things will change in the future. Nice play by Gary Blair, tremendous hustle. As he knocks away the pass intended for Dean Durnford. It's still going to be Husky ball, however.
Yeah, good athletic play by Gary Blair. All right, again, we saw that St. Mary's just tried to get the ball in the middle, and Dal's got to prevent that from happening.
Richard Sullivan with the ball for the Huskies. He holds, he's guarded by Merrick. Jason Darling to Brian Thompson, back to Darling. Darling holds, goes cross-court, dangerous pass. Dean Durnford loses the handle. The ball is knocked away, loose ball. Players all over the place. And we've got one referee has a foul call, another has a jump. Let's see what takes precedence. The foul takes precedence. Let's see what he calls.
We'll see here. We'll see here. Now they're going to have a conference on this one. Foul's going to be called. I think that's going to be on Dean Durnford here. But that was a nice pass inside, actually, by Sullivan. Durnford just couldn't quite handle it. We see the ball scrambling around. Players on the floor diving for it.
Foul is called on Richard Sullivan, his second foul.
Yeah, that was a good call. That was a good call. Andrew Merritt had the ball. They were reaching in.
Here's a good look. Chris Rower's going to re-enter the ball game. And Richard Sullivan's going to have a seat. 9 minutes, 44 seconds to go. It's an 8-point St. Mary's lead. Here comes Wolverbeek the other way for the Tigers. There's a Gary Blair. Blair fakes. Merritt's open inside. Has the ball knocked away. We get a foul call.
He was whacked.
Dean Durnford goes to his knees saying, come on, ref. Give me a break, Dean. Come on, buddy.
Andrew Merritt, again, posting up. There's very few players in the country at his size who are going to be able to handle him. They can't get a good angle, but referee was right there. Called the foul.
Okay, that's a third foul on Chris Rower. Merritt's going to free throw line. Important free throws for Dalhousie. And he's short.
Well, and here's one of the Achilles heels for Dalhousie. Andrew Merritt shoots 58% from the foul line.
That's right, ref. Get him out of there.
And that's simply just not good enough. And comes down crunch time like this, you're down. You have got to take every opportunity to get back in this game by hitting the free throw.
He makes good on the second. So it's a 7-point Husky lead, 58-51. Here comes Roworth, guarded by Andrew Merritt. Thompson open over to Roworth, McCutcheon, Darling. Darling dribbles, comes up top to McCutcheon.
This little half-court pressure seemed to take St. Mary's a little out of their rhythm so far.
Okay, Roworth now takes the pull-up pop. Good.
Well, right there, you know, you see him driving. You got to challenge the shot. Not necessarily trying to block the shot, but get a hand in his face. Maybe force him to miss it. You can't leave open jump shots.
Blair, three-pointer is around the rim and out, picked up by Roworth.
Again, you know, you want to have the threat from the three-point area, but one pass and a jump shot from that, that's not something you want, I don't think.
8 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the second half. It's 60-51 in favor of the Huskies. Jason Darling pulls up, shoots a jumper around the rim, hits the glass, and goes in.
Well, you might know it's your day when you get shots to drop like that. Now, the situation's getting a little more desperate for Dal. They're 12 points down, and really they're not in an offensive sync. In fact, they're not even using any of their true point guards. Yeah, we got a foul there on Thompson. What they're using is basically Will Verbeek in the backcourt and sitting both Sean Mantley and Kevin Hayden down.
That's Brian Thompson's first foul, and as we were saying, you know, these guys, they can afford to go after anything they want. They're not in any foul trouble at all, and like we were saying, Paquette, Riley has 4 for Dal. Mantley's got a couple. So you see there's 8 minutes, 18 seconds to go as Verbeek hits the first free throw. So it's a 10-point lead. Preparing for a second shot. It's on the way. It's good. So it's a 9-point Husky lead.
Oh, you need shots like that. Anytime you can stop the clock and score, that's really what you'd like to do.
Huskies get good ball movement. Brian Thompson is good for 2.
See, now what Dalhousie's being forced to do to play catch-up basketball here is scramble around defensively, and when you have a team that can move the ball as well as St. Mary's and shoot it, it's tough.
Okay, we got a foul called on Jason Darling. That's going to send Verbeek to the line.
Well, a good situation for Dalhousie now. They're piling up the fouls. One more team foul, and they'll be in the bonus. Now, the best thing about that is you get a chance to score taking no time off the clock. The biggest key, however, you have got to hit these foul shots.
Okay, Verbeek on the line. First one's on the way. It's good.
Well, Will Schilling has barely hit his last 3 free throws.
And he misses the second. Rebound, Durnford. Okay, Dalhousie is in the bonus, however, so these free throws are going to be very, very important. They're going to have to hit them. Roworth back the other way. Gives McCutcheon back to Roworth. Over to Darling. Back to Roworth. He throws the ball away. It's Dalhousie ball.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what you like to do, forcing the turnovers. And I think St. Mary's is a little out of sync here.
7 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the second half. We're coming at you live from the Dalplex. Dalhousie versus St. Mary's. Andrew Merritt with the pull-up jumper. It's off the rim, no good. But he gets the offensive rebound, puts it up.
Oh, move by Andrew Merritt. Great rebound, great putback.
Chris Roworth and Tom McCutcheon playing catch. McCutcheon finds Brian Thompson. He passes up the open J, gives to Roworth. McCutcheon fakes Blair off his feet, finds Roworth open, guarded by Verbeek. Brian Thompson takes it baseline, right by Dean Thibodeau.
Thompson's tough, too. You know, what a great player. Possible candidate for MVP of the league. Certain to be a first-team AUA All-Star.
No question. Dean Thibodeau up top to Gary Blair. He finds Will Verbeek. Verbeek. Gary Blair once again up top. He finds Andrew Merritt, guarded by Roworth. Merritt goes up. There has to be a foul call on that one.
A little late call there, but certainly has to be a foul. You know, with the problem there for St. Mary's, they got a beef. I mean, the call wasn't made right away. It took time to think about it. Now, sometimes you like to think, good, a referee. Well, let's see that again, a replay. Well, even though it might not be contact, when you swing your arm down, the referees invariably are going to call that a foul.
Now, Chris Roworth has picked up his 4th foul.
Well, that's crucial. That's crucial.
Also, Andrew Merritt is going to be shooting 2 free throws. Every foul now is going to be a free throw shot attempt for Dalhousie.
And here's the key. They've got to make them.
Got to make them. Richard Sullivan's going to replace Chris Roworth when we come back from this timeout.
He's just going to give him a 2-minute blow. I suspect Roworth's going to be back in there. You got to go with your prime time players down crunch time here. You know, you got to go with your best, and right now Dal's decided to go with their best using
quick swing around the perimeter or swing it over the top, at which point the low post's got to make a real strong cut back to the ball side low post. Same thing with high post. On the skip pass, try and step and seal your man, present yourself real strong, take a look for each other, and let's get the ball inside.
Hey, on defense, guys, with the 3 big men, Merritt, Blair, and they're running like what we run a weave. They're trying to penetrate into the middle, okay? If they're looking to take it all the way, if not, they're looking to dish out. So we gotta, those 3 men
down. Consequently, you're going to get layups and open jump shots. Now, St. Mary's moves the ball very well. I think they're the best passing team on offense, moving the ball around than any team in the league, and they shoot the ball as well as any team in the league.
Excellent perimeter jump shooters. Okay, it's a 10-point Husky lead. As I said, 6 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the second half. Andrew Merritt going to the free throw line, attempting a couple for Dalhousie.
Here's the key, you know, Andrew, in my estimation, is better than a 58% free throw shooter, but that's what the statistics say. He's got to do better than that today. And he has.
He makes the first. Chance to cut it to 8. And he does. And here comes Sullivan.
Now, for St. Mary's, you want your biggest player to inbound the ball or bring the ball over half court. Now, Sullivan brought it over there.
McCutcheon now with the ball holds. Finds Durnford inside. Oh, Tom McCutcheon gets away with another one, and Dave Paquette picks up the loose ball.
I'm surprised Durnford had the ball right there. He should have gone up right away.
Okay, Andrew Merritt up top, holds the ball overhead, gives to Will Verbeek, guarded by McCutcheon. Verbeek looks like he wants to take him, but he can't. Gary Blair now finds Paul Riley inside, guarded by Durnford. Durnford hits him once. No call, and Jason Darling gets the rebound. Richard Sullivan back to Darling. Finds Durnford. Takes Riley off his feet. Bottled up. Darling attempts a three-pointer. It's good.
You have to get a hand up, but we don't need to say it many more times. Dalhousie, they have got to get a hand on that player. They got to get out on Darling. He can shoot that shot.
Will Verbeek off the glass for 2.
Well, Verbeek's, he's not going to go down without a fight. Neither is Andrew Merritt. They want this game very badly.
It's a 9-point Husky lead.
Nearly a turnover. Well, they got to pick them up quicker than that. You can't let the ball, guys got to collapse and stop the penetration.
Tom McCutcheon lost the handle twice, regained possession both times, and laid it in. We've got a Dalhousie timeout called. 5 minutes, 11 seconds to go here in the game. It's 11-point St. Mary's lead, 71-60.
Well, let's give a little kudos for Tom McCutcheon. You know, fifth-year player. His first 3 years, he didn't get a lot of playing time. He had the ability all along. With St. Mary's had some veteran players: David Smith, Tony Walker, John Murphy, Mike Williams. Now
they're going to start to spread it out more, and they're going to be double teaming you. Keep the ball moving. Make the easiest pass available to you.
Will be high posters. No, Tommy high, you stay down low.
Don't bring the ball in his.
That's right. Easy on the new guy.
No, here, let's have then you two guys. No, Brian come high. These two guys, they're in the backcourt right now working this thing up. They're doing a good job. Brian, you come into the high post. You're the high post. You take the corner. You work the baseline mid-range, right?
You want to, then you double it up. You want to move the ball and outnumber the zone. All the pressure's outside.
Calmly hit those jump shots. He's had the ability all along. Seems to go back to something I've said all along. The players in this league, for the most part, the majority of them can all play, can all score, can all basically shoot the basketball. It's a matter of confidence. You know, when people say this game is mental, they really mean it. At a level like this, it comes down to mental capacity. players have the confidence to shoot the basketball, they will shoot it and hit it. Tom McCutcheon, you know, averaging 10 points a game this year, where in the years past he's only averaged 3 or 4 points a game. And not to say he couldn't do it before, he just never really maybe had the confidence or the chance.
Gary Blair bounds in front of us to Oscar Martins. He finds Verbeek. Sean Mantley fakes a three, takes a jumper from the free throw line. It's off the rim, no good. Rebound, Dale Stevens. Into the hands of Brian Thompson.
Well, here we go with a little full court pressure. Dell stepping up the pressure even more.
Huskies break it, and Oscar Martins, a great defensive play. Oh, he's fallen from behind, no call. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by Paquette. He finds Oscar Martin. Gary Blair with it. Back to Paquette. He fakes, drives baseline.
Yeah, well,
we've got a foul charge to number 52, his first, Dale Stevens.
I'm surprised there's no foul. Oscar going for the ball. Richard Sullivan, it was a nice tackle if you're defensive back.
So Paquette's on the line. He's in the bonus, so this first one is very important.
In fairness to referees, too, though, they want the players to play, but in a situation like that where Oscar probably had a better chance at the basketball than Sullivan, I think there might have been a foul there.
No good, but rebound by
Reek.
And he misses. Rebound by Stevens for St. Mary's. Here comes Brian Thompson, chased by Paquette. Richard Sullivan now holds the ball, guarded by Sean Mantley. Oscar Martins with the help. He finds McCutcheon. McCutcheon moves that pivot foot, no call. Dale Stevens, off him. That looked like it was off Stevens' leg, out of bounds.
That certainly looked like it was knocked off his leg.
Well, no replay. St. Mary's is going to inbound the ball underneath the basket.
The situation gets ever more desperate with 4 minutes to go. Dell's down by 11 points.
Jason Darling, Chris Rowitz re-entered the ball game. Hey, offensive foul travel. You pick something there. You got it.
Good defensive sequence. I think he didn't realize the 30-second clock had wound down. Now for Dalhousie, they have got to score. Each time down, they got to make their opportunities count.
Okay, it's still 71-60. Wilver Beek down with the ball. Oscar Martins finds Gary Blair. He looks inside, finds Andrew Merritt. Reverse spin off the glass. Nice push by Brian Thompson.
Yeah, got to call that. He was over the back. There's no question about that.
Well, Dave Paquette certainly finds that an interesting call.
Yeah, certainly. It seemed that he was whistled on. Yeah, there was no doubt about that. You can't have a hand on the player's back and come over top and reach like that. That's going to be called. Even if there's little contact, it's still going to be called. Now,
all right,
here's the key. Andrew's going to hit the free throw.
Yep, shoot. He makes the
great.
first.
Andrew's coming through in the clutch. What hitting these free throws do also is set up your press.
That's right. Okay. It's a 10-point Husky lead right now. Merritt looks to connect to 9. He does.
Right now, full court pressure.
3 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in this contest. 71 for St. Mary's, 62 for Dalhousie. Jason Darling, great block by Andrew Merritt.
Merritt thought he had all ball there, and he might have. But again, we say when a player swings his arm down, the referee, in most cases, is going to call it. It just looks like a foul. Here we go. Whoop. And again, refereeing is a thankless job. It's a tough job. And these referees are quality, very good officials, but there's some tough calls to make.
Okay, Dean Jarnford re-enters the ball game, replacing Dale Stevens. Jason Darling's going to shoot 2. You're watching Channel 10 Sports live from Dalhousie University, the Dalplex. Jason Darling hits the first one.
Well, clutch free throws. At St. Mary's, with their excellent foul shooting team, you know, they get down in the crunch time. Hey, they've got the people to go to the line, can step up and hit the free throws.
As Jason Darling just did. Again, it's 11-point Husky lead. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Sean Mantley lets fire from 3. Off the glass and in!
Yes. Well, I'm sure he didn't call that one, but...
Oh, come on, Brian. Let's see if that ignites Dow. Brian Thompson now guarded by
Full court pressure all over the court, and it's going to come down to a foul shooting contest. We'll see who can hit the free throws and who cannot.
Looks like Thompson took a finger in the eye.
Now for Dal, it's not a bad situation. You know, foul the team, force them to go line, you stop the clock. You do not want that clock to keep running. You're down, you want to either score on the foul line or get the ball from St. Mary's on a turnover or force them to hit their free throws.
Chris Forbes has entered the ball game now for Dalhousie. Second action of the game. Probably for that reason.
Well, Chris Forbes, well, they're going to, very soon Dal's going to get into the bonus situation. There's 5 fouls right now. I would suspect in the next 20 seconds they'll pick up their 6th and 17 fouls. Well, push off there by Jason Downey, got away with one.
Good play by Gary Blair. He fires a 3. It's no good. Rebound, Merritt.
Well, see here, the referees have a conference call. We don't, you know, what's the call? Is that Andrew Merritt's over the back?
I don't know.
I think Phipps had another call in mind.
That appeared to be a great rebound. Both players went. Let's see if we can get a look at this. Here we go. Both players had the ball, but Andrew Merritt gets called for over the back. It's his 3rd foul.
Well, now each team's in the bonus, so this is going to be a foul shooting contest the rest of the way. St. Mary's would like not to foul Dal, but I suspect it's going to come down to who hits the free throws, who doesn't. Now, Dal's got to force St. Mary's into turnovers or under a foul line. Now,
well, it was Andrew Merritt and Chris Roworth were going after that ball.
Brian Thompson isn't the man who was fouled. Now, Chris Roworth's got to be in the line.
And Bev is gone for a technical foul.
Well, it's very interesting. What will be the call, see? So I've heard that's called before. If you send the wrong player to the foul line, that's well, I guess it's not going to be called.
Now they correct.
Yeah, Thompson is a better free throw shooter than Roworth, which is surprising. Chris is a nice stroke, but he doesn't shoot the free throws all that well.
Shots on the way. It's no good. Rebound, Andrew Merritt.
Tough rebound by Andrew Merritt there.
Okay, just under 3 minutes to go here. It's an 8-point Husky lead. Wolvervik makes it a 6-point lead.
They want.
Jason Downey with the ball guarded by Matley. Throws to Roworth wide open.
Well, could get a 10-second call.
Luckily, the Huskies bring the ball up to Brian Thompson. He finds Darling open. Up to Roworth, inside to McCutcheon. McCutcheon back outside to Roworth. Brian Thompson now, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jason Darling goes.
What a basket by Darling. That was a flying move. Got it at the baseline. Took it right to the basket. What a power move. And took it right to Matley, and Andrew Merritt gets fouled and goes to the line. That's a heartbreaker.
Okay, and checking in now for Dalhousie is Dean Thibodeau.
The lead was down to 6 points. On that, it could be a 9-point. That's a tough one. That looked like they had St. Mary's out of sync, and we're going to stop them.
Darling completes the 3-point play.
Well, it's tough now. Dow's got to look to hit a few 3-point shots here.
Gary Blair launches one. It's no good. Seems to me like St. Mary's is getting away with pushes inside. I caught Chris Roworth that time.
It's a little scrambly right now, too, and Chris Roworth telling the rest of the St. Mary's team to calm down a little. They had that rebound, little scramble. We've got 2:13 left, 9 points. I suspect he's just taking situational substitutions. He's going to get Wolvervik back in the game very quickly.
Sean Mantley, Gary Blair open.
They've got to look. That's why Chris Forbes. They've got to look for those threes.
Andrew Merritt takes it right to Thompson. Is off to him. No good. Merritt takes an elbow in the mouth. No call. And the Huskies are just playing now. Looking to run the clock, use that clock smartly. Brian Thompson, guarded by Mantley, comes way up here to Roworth. Now Jason Donner's going to drive, loses the ball, and here comes Sean Mantley. Now Chris Forbes, he's got to let it go. It's on the way, no good.
That's not the shot you want down.
And we've got a foul call, I believe, on Dean Durnford, a push.
Well, Chris might have given the ball back to Sean there. Now see here, Sean maybe should ask for the ball back, get Chris a chance to set up on his 3-point attempt.
So that's going to send Dean Thibodeau to the free throw line. One minute, 39 seconds to go. It's a 9-point St. Mary's lead. Thibodeau calmly sinks the first. They can make it a 7-point game, and he does. It's 76 to 69. Oh, he dragged that foot. There was a travel there. He was lucky. Ryan Thompson with the beautiful layup and draws the foul on Thibodeau.
And unfortunately, Cecil, that just might do it right here. Yeah, he traveled there. No question about that. Thompson taking it right to the basket. And I might say, Cecil, that just might do it for the Dal Tigers this year. Obviously, dejected bunch. That's a tough play for Thompson. That's good credit to St. Mary's. A great move by Thompson. They handled the pressure very well. They've hit their free throws. They've hit the clutch baskets.
They've got the clutch calls. Minute 31 seconds to go. It's 78 for St. Mary's, 69 for Dalhousie. Yeah, we see the referees conferring there. I don't think there's anything to confer about on that play, though.
We need to put us on the line, hope we miss. We've got to be strong with the basketball.
All we have to do is not turn the basketball over. At the end of the 30 seconds, we look to go get a basket out of it. After 20 seconds, go look. I'm just telling you, don't turn the ball over, and the game is ours.
Hard it out. Be tough. No fouls. Riley's in, and I'm telling you,
they're banging. They're going the board.
Bang. Nobody retaliates.
Getting that three-pointer without a hand in the face anyway.
No question.
So let's see if Bev comes out with Chris Forbes and or Gary Blair. They seem to be the three-point specialists.
Well, I suspect he'll come out with both players.
Okay.
No, he's not. He's bringing in Sean Mantley.
You got Mantley, Forbes, Merritt, Verbeek, and Paul Riley on the floor for the Tigers. Durnford, Roworth, Thompson, McCutcheon, and Jason Darling for St. Mary's.
You know, and let's speak a little about some of the previous games. You know, Friday night, Dalhousie was down to Acadia. Acadia without Kevin Vino. A 1-point game down late, and Dal just couldn't pull it out. And, you know, when you look back at losses, you got to think, geez, about games like that. Well, there's a crucial one.
Thompson misses a free throw. Here comes Verbeek.
Get it to Chris.
Sean Mantley's going to fire a three. It's no good. Rebound. Brian Thompson, excellent box out. He's got a foul called on Verbeek for a push. He called Verbeek for a push. Well, I don't know about that.
Here we go again. Now,
a push on Verbeek.
Well, let's not be judgmental, but that was a tough call. I think they might have been able to call an offensive charge on Brian Thompson there, but it might be meaningless anyways.
Well, all year long, we've been giving the referees credit, and I'm not about to change now, no matter what the outcome of this game is. It's a little bit tough for Bev Greenlaw, though, to see his team lose in this fashion here, I'm sure. Okay, Thompson makes both free throws. It's a 11-point lead, 80-69. Paul Riley fires a three. It's short. Wolverbeek hustles, gets the offensive rebound. Chris Forbes in the corner, lets it go. It's good! And the Tigers quickly call timeout, stopping the clock with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. It's 80-72, 8-point game. There's still enough time.
Well, you never want to say it's over. You always want that opportunities, and certainly with the three-point line, there's still an opportunity. I think, however, this game has been decided.
What do we got? Set up a press break. All right. Good luck, guys. Press break.
Thanks, Bill.
Got the ball out. Jason and Chris on the foul line looking to come in. Guys to the middle. Let's move the ball around, all right? They're going to foul us and put us on the line. We got to make. Got to be tight with the ball. Free throws. Right, be aggressive. Just let them foul you before you
Squeeze the ball. That's right. Squeeze the ball.
Coming to the ball, Brian. If you're on the weak side, come hard to the ball. Get it. They got to foul us, all right? Okay. Then spread it out if we get it over half court and use 30 seconds. We've got 1 or 2.
We only have 1 timeout left.
We'll go for every time.
Yeah, but you don't have to use it. Read the man, get them when they're open.
Okay, we make our free throws and we're going home. We're winning, guys.
The rest is that he just doesn't have that person he can go to for the jump shot, and that's demonstrated by Dalhousie's percentage from the floor. They shoot, but 42% on the best of nights, and in the mid-30s on the worst of nights. And you know, it's going to be tough to win games when you're shooting 35% consistently as a team. Now, there's some individuals who might shoot like that, but as a team, that's very, very difficult. And they have to rely on their offensive rebound, and they're in close games all the time. They're consistently in close games, but fail to pull them out. And let's look back to an Acadia loss here a few weeks, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. The game right after the X game. It's a tough loss. You know, a tough loss. They didn't really come ready to play, and they lost by a couple of points to Acadia.
Okay, Gary Blair fouled Brian Thompson. It's going to send Thompson to the line, shooting 1-on-1. Not the guy you really want to foul in this situation, I don't think.
No. Thompson shoots 77%. You don't want him. You don't want him on the foul line if you're Dalhousie. It's tough. I mean, at some of the fourth-year players who might not come back, they got to look at this, and you know, it's a tough way to end your career. Losing a game like this, missing the playoffs. It's tough at any point to lose, but disappointing more so because you didn't make the playoffs, which certainly had to be their goal at the start of the season.
Well, for Big fires a 3. It's no good. Off Tom McCutcheon into the hands of Jason Darwin. We have Chris Forbes called for, I believe, a pushing foul. I hope, I don't see any blood drawn on Jason Darwin, so I guess it wasn't that bad.
But let's give credit to the St. Mary's Huskies. They're about to enter the playoffs, and they are a threat. Now, they played a close game with the X-Men on Friday night, losing by just 3 points. In fact, Tom McCutcheon hit a three-pointer with no time left that didn't count. If it had, it would have tied the basketball game. So these St. Mary's Huskies are a threat. You know, they play with a lot of heart. This St. Mary's team over the last 2 years has demonstrated, you know, physical skill is one thing, but being a basketball player is another thing, and showing the heart and determination they do.
Right, Andrew Merrick takes a coast-to-coast, lays it in, makes it a 6-point Husky lead, 45 seconds to go. Timeout, Dalhousie. So St. Mary's is trying to keep Dalhousie in the game as best they can by missing the front ends of the bonus situation.
Well, left yet. Remember that next time. And you know where to help is. You got to look around. Everybody's over on the other side of the floor, so it's steering back towards the help. They're trying to isolate them coming down the right-hand side like that. Don't foul a shooter, right? Make sure that you just go hands right up on the guy. No matter what, don't whack a shooter. Block out, rebound.
Guys,
and attack this press.
Okay, if Brian, Tommy, you got the ball out of bounds, right? Ask the referee if you can run back and forth. Brian, same thing. Dean, if these 2 guys, they're putting 3 guys on our 2 front men, so it's kind of tough to get in. So you come down the court, bust the gut, come catch the ball, and they're going to foul you right away.
All right? If you set the screens for each other, roll. The roller will come to the ball.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tommy, you got
hey, guys, it's our game. Let's go. Go start.
We're knocking down the free throws, bro. Tommy, you got 1 timeout left.
Ain't over till it's over, unless or Dick Mott and the fat lady sings, and there's no fat lady yet, so.
I guess the closest we have to that is Quinta Adams, and she's kind of slim, so.
Oh, no.
She won't mind you saying that, Brian.
Well, I would never say that. Not at all.
Okay, well, St. Mary's is going to inbound the ball. And Rower to the way.
Now that
might from behind.
That might be a 2-shot foul.
Well, if he was going for the ball, it should be 1-on-1. Now let's see what they call.
They've called a 1-on-1. I'm surprised at that. Now that seemed to be a breakaway or a partial breakaway, and it looks like he might have fouled him. Getting Chris Forbes in here immediately.
So that's going to put Chris Roworth on the line. I would suspect. Now, Roworth may hit these, but this might be the guy that you want on the line in this situation. Shots on the way, and it's good.
Chris is a veteran. Again, probably an AU-BC All-Star last year and sure to be a first-team selection, I believe, this year. You know, what a player. Over 100 assists on the year. He's in the top 10 in scoring and the leading man for assists for conference.
40 seconds to go. Merritt lets a three-pointer fly. It's no good. The ball is knocked away from Durford, picked up. Andrew Merritt doing awesome work inside. He scores.
Well, let's see if that one again. I mean, again, we're down to 6-point lead.
Let's get a replay on that and see who the foul was on, if we can.
I think they're going to call it on Andrew Merritt there. Now, the ball comes out of bounds. Well, it's tough to get a replay, but the foul is called on Andrew Merritt, sending Darling to the foul line.
26 seconds to go. 82-76 for St. Mary's.
Well, we did say it's coming down the last wire, you know, to the wire, but we didn't think it would come quite this fashion.
Darling in and out.
Free throw if they can get down.
Need a quick free here. Merritt is fouled.
Oh, a blocking foul's called. Tough call on that.
If that's on Rower. See you later.
That's going. He's going. That seemed to be. That's a tough one. Let's see that one again. Andrew Merritt, bring the ball up court. Ooh, Rower seemed to be there, but hey, that's a tough call. Now this is fifth foul. Clock stops. We have 20 seconds left. Merritt will be going to the foul line.
Shooting bonus. Chance to make it a 4-point lead if he's successful. I would think that the last thing the St. Mary's coaching staff wants to do right now is pick up a technical foul.
No, not at all. And they're veteran coaches. They've been around basketball for years and years and years. They're certainly not going to pick up a technical here. There's no need to.
So Andrew Merritt goes to the free throw line, hoping to cut the lead to 4. The first one is in and out. Jason Darling with the rebound. Sean Mantley all over him. We got a blocking foul finally called on Sean Mantley.
Well, his fourth. You had to have those free throws, and I think that will finally do it. The final nail in the coffin here.
15 seconds to go. 82-76 in favor of St. Mary's Huskies. Jason Darling is going to be at the free throw line. Shooting bonus. Now this is a situation where I'm surprised that there are any Huskies here at all, because St. Mary's, I mean, Dalhousie has to score twice anyway. Why risk a foul here on a rebound? So Dalhousie can put more points on the clock with no time to expire. However, Ross Quackenbush knows more about the game than I do, I'm sure. Darling hits the first one.
Darling's come through in the second half with 12 points. And a second-year player, he's certain to be probably an all-star in this league before his career is done.
Verbeek to Chris Forbes. Forbes fires a 3.
I think he might have been fouled.
6 seconds to go, and we have a deflection. The ball wasn't deflected, he was fouled.
He had to be. He had to be.
Well, Paul Riley looking to inbound the ball for Dow. Verbeek, 4 seconds. He fires a 3. It's no good. And that's it. Final score here from the Dowplex. St. Mary's does it. 84 for St. Mary's, 76 for Dalhousie. That's a tough loss for Dalhousie and a great win for St. Mary's. No matter who would have won this game, it would have been a great win for the school.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, and let's give credit to St. Mary's. You know, people counted them out at the start of the year, didn't think they were going to be a serious threat. There was even questions whether they were going to have a team this year. Quackenbush has got his group together, got them to the playoffs, and they're playing great basketball at the moment, and they have to be
excellent job. Nobody would have given you a chance to get in September.
Disappointment.
That's just now. Good job.
This league, they were 6-3. After the St. Mary's win, the X win, they were 7-6, and from that looked like to be headed to the playoffs, but things broke down. They didn't execute in certain games. They didn't come to play. Some games they lost to the Acadia Axemen twice in a couple of games they possibly could have won. Very difficult for them. Well, Thompson had a great game. What can you say? Brian Thompson, not only AUA All-Star, but let's say it now, he's going to be first-team All-Canadian. If he's not, there's a travesty of justice here. For the Tigers, though, you know, what a disappointing way in your home court to have people chant, no, hey, goodbye. I mean, that's difficult to digest, and especially for the senior players, those players who are not going to be back in the program. And it's a tough way. I can sympathize with them. Not similar circumstance, but to lose like that, be out of the playoffs is very difficult to digest. You put that much time into the game, to not be rewarded for one of the goals at the outset of the season you were looking to get. It's a difficult thing, and people will be questioning, you know, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? I think they played as well as they could have. Bev did a tremendous job this year. You know, they're involved in a lot of tight games.
I think that certainly the Tigers did not expect to come in, you know, a game as important as this in their own gym and have the fouls go against them like they did. I hate to belabor that point, however, that is part of the game. And when you're in a situation where you have 12 fouls called on your team in your gym and the other team has a total of 4 or 5 called on them, you know, the coach is definitely not going to be as happy as he normally might be.
Well, no question. There is some, you know, Dalhousie quickly got into foul trouble. Paquette and Riley picking up 3 in the first half. That seriously hurt their situation. Then early in the second half, Riley picks up his 4th foul on a call which I thought was questionable, but the coach has to react to those situations and do different things. And unfortunately, Dalhousie couldn't react to it and didn't do the things that could get them back into the game.
Okay, let's see if we can send it over to Quinta Adams and her guest coach, Ross Quackenbush.
Quinta Adams back with the St. Mary's rookie head coach, Ross Quackenbush. First of all, congratulations on a very intense win. There was a lot of speculation at the beginning of the season as how well the Huskies were going to do, and not because of your coaching, but because of your personnel.
Well, I think that may be true. I think that a lot of that just has to do with the fact that people weren't necessarily aware of exactly who we did have and how good they were or could be.
So do you plan on doing anything different through practice this week to prepare yourself for the X-Men?
No, I don't think so. Now isn't the time of the year when you want to start trying new things. We went with a game plan against Stain FX last game that we thought worked quite well defensively. Offensively, we had some troubles, but that's to give X credit for playing really tough defense, and I think that we'll go with the same things we've always gone with on offense, except try to execute them a little better, that's all.
You must feel pleased as a coach for this win, but also for your 5-year players, Tom McClutchin and Dean Durnford.
Well, I'm really happy for the team. They really worked hard, and they've been through a lot over the years. It's tough not making the playoffs, as they haven't in last year at least. And well, it was just a real big goal of theirs, and they really worked their tails off, and I'm just overjoyed for them.
Has your attitude changed from them when you first came in at the beginning of the year at such a last moment time, and now?
Well, no, I don't think so. I was prepared to. I came into it just. Well, I didn't know exactly what I was coming into, you know, but I figured that wherever we were, we'd try and take it forward, and even now we're going to continue to try and take it forward, because if we're going to beat X first and then whoever we play next, we're going to have to improve a little bit between now and then.
Well, congratulations on a great win and good luck in the final.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Thank you very much for watching the game. As I said, this was our last live regular season broadcast for the 1989-90 season. But stick with us on Saturday and Sunday for the AUAA Finals, live from the Halifax Forum. Quinta Adams, Cecil Wright, and Brian Lennox, thanking you for your support throughout the season.
all the things that we've been through, you should understand me like I understand you. Now, baby, I know the difference between right and wrong. I ain't gonna do nothing to upset our happy home. Oh, don't get so excited when I come home a little late at night, 'cause we only act like children when we argue, fuss, and fight. Hey, you don't know, if you don't know right now, you will never, never, never know. You'll never, never, never know me. Hey, if you don't know, if you don't, if you don't know me, baby, you will never, never, never know me. No, you won't. Hey, we all got our own funny moves. I've got mine. Woman, you got yours too. Just trust in me like I trust in you. As long as we've been together, that should be so easy to do. Just get yourself together, or we might as well say goodbye. What good is a love affair when we can't see eye to eye? Oh, if you don't know me, baby, you'll never, never, never know. Hey, 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 hey. If you don't know me right now, you will never, never, never know. No, you won't. No. If you don't 10 long years. 10 long years we've been together. If you don't know me right now.
509, 92 CJCH, and Ian Smith into the home stretch here. Favorites of yesterday and today. The final hour into effect with 13 in a row nonstop. Carly